Dingus and Dongus.
Debacle.
Episode 7.
Okay, it's episode 7 of the Dingus and Dongus debacle. I guess this month where we read Get Jiro was printed on I think it was Vertigo.
Yes.
Written by Anthony Bourdain, the Anthony Bourdain. If you don't know who that is, well,
You're missing out.
Yeah, you're missing out. And who was the art by?
Langdon Foss.
Langdon Foss.
Oh,
And it was co-written by Joel Rose.
Yes. So part of me suspects that like Anthony Bourdain probably was like, this is the idea we're going to do, and these are the major points.
Mm-hmm.
Now you write the rest of this shit for me, is my assumption.
Yeah, so it was like a little ghostwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know. I mean, he is a writer. He did write Kitchen Confidential.
Right.
So, but then again, I don't really know how much experience he has with like comic books and scripting and stuff. So maybe,
Here's the story. You make it fit into the
Yeah.
media.
exactly.
So
But what'd you think?
I enjoyed this book.
It's fucking nuts. It's insane. So the premise is like they're in a post-apocalyptic like U.S. The dominant forces of the country apparently is like food-based.
Yes.
Everything is revolving around food, and the main character Jiro is a sushi chef out in like the sticks.
Right. Well, they have it set up. This story takes place in L.A. specifically,
Mm-hmm.
and there's different levels of rings, and the outer edges being poor, impoverished, scaling, right?
Right.
And it's really based, the type of food and the quality of food shows a lot of classism,
Yeah.
which kind of parallels now a little bit.
Oh, hugely, yeah. But yeah, the story follows Jiro, this amazing sushi chef who works in the outer rings. One of my favorite moments is super early on. It's just these douchebags come into his sushi shop and then start dunking their sushi into wasabi and soy sauce. It pisses Jiro off, so he chops
the head off. Well, that set the pace for the whole fucking book.
Yeah.
Like, got to that part, and I was like, oh, all right.
This is what we're doing
This
now.
is what we're doing. Because there's, oh, man, yeah.
Okay, I don't know if you noticed this, but in the scene where he chops the dude's head off, he also chops through a cup.
I didn't notice that.
Okay. But get this. When he chops through the cup, it breaks into, it looks like he sliced it twice.
Oh.
So there's 3 pieces of the cup flying out into the air when he only sliced once.
Huh.
He's that good.
Well, I mean, and later in the book, it reaffirms when he chops the dude's arm off.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, cuts around the bone and...
In like a split second.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
So it's, it's good. What's extra funny is I've always heard there's ways to eat sushi and appreciate it and nigiri and all that. I don't know what they are, and I do what the douchebag did. Like, I put wasabi in the soy sauce, put the soy in,
Yeah.
and I eat that shit rice down, because I didn't know you do it fish down.
Right. I didn't know for a while, and then I learned, and I still do it the other way.
Well, I'll probably do fish down going
Yeah.
forward, just because I assume you get more fish taste right off the bat.
Right.
I don't know.
And you're supposed to apparently like pick it up with your fingers too,
Right.
instead of a chopstick. But it's just like I'm so used to doing it this way, and it tastes good.
Yeah,
already.
I'm just gonna do it this
Yeah.
way.
And besides, I don't really. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's a sushi chef out there who will just like
or kick you out.
Oh yeah,
We probably won't.
I
chop
shouldn't
your
go
head
to
off.
Japan. Is what I'm saying. I shouldn't go to Japan.
Well, I'll go to Japan. I plan on it. I just am terrified to eat sushi there now.
So the two antagonists of the book.
It's gang warfare.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
chefs.
Yeah. One of the dudes is like it's like your stereotypical like Frenchy, high class chefy chef.
And well, he's an industrialist too.
Yeah.
The key components here is that one's an industrialist, globalist type of person. Business. Everything's about
Right.
business.
How to
And-
make money.
Right. And then the other one is a hippie lady that's locally, quote unquote, locally sourced, sustainable, farm to table
Right.
situation.
Yeah. So the one guy is obviously just a shithead because everything is about money for him.
Right.
Like he doesn't really care about what he's feeding people necessarily, as long as it brings him money.
Right. Well, I agree with that, but money's not the only thing. Making money off of all this bullshit is priority for him. He also likes the proper way things are done, but
Yes.
for him.
Yes.
Him specifically.
He wants the good stuff.
Right.
Everybody else could go fuck themselves.
Right. And that's reinforced through that scene when he finally gets Jiro to come in because he's
Right.
trying to recruit him. They go through the restaurant and then it's just showing all the wrong things, like people
Mhm.
eating sushi, quote unquote, incorrectly. And he goes on to say, it's like, that's just how it is out there. If you want money, that's how they do it. They're uncultured swine.
And then he takes them into his like private little area and like feeds them like really good stuff.
Yes.
It's like, look, I get it. Like this is the good stuff, and you can have it if you work for me. Fuck those other guys, but like, you know. The other thing though is the other side, the hippie lady. That's a little more complicated because like on the surface, like yeah, you know, organic and locally sourced stuff is good.
Right.
But the problem is, it's just so overzealous and overpriced from what I could tell.
Right.
What they're doing. That basically they're saying, if you're poor and can't afford this, you're a bad person.
I didn't pick that up.
Yeah.
No. I could see that being the case, but I
Yeah.
don't remember reading into that. I must have just...
I mean, it's I guess extrapolation of this because like she's up in the inner ring
Right.
where everything's super expensive.
Yes.
And she's saying, if you don't eat this stuff the way that we do it, you're a bad person.
Fair. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you obviously can't afford it because you're poor.
Yeah, so you're a bad
So
person.
you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the things I really enjoyed, stepping back from the two mega chefs, or whatever you want to call them, was Jiro's small hole in the wall good food, but
Mhm.
when he went to visit what I assume was a French restaurant.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like I belong in places like that.
Right.
In the real
hole
world.
in the wall.
Little hole in the wall, shit done great, but they're happy to have you appreciate it.
Right.
So it's not as pretentious, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just people wanting to serve good food and make other people happy.
Right, and then have some level of camaraderie.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of, I think my growing up experience, I guess you could say, was like food is more than just go fuel.
Right.
Like, it can be a social event or a bonding event with a
Mhm.
group of people or whatever.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, fuck yeah. I just really enjoyed that small scene.
It fucking bummed me out when the dude got killed.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh. but then again, you know, that was a whole catalyst for like Jiro.
Going on his
Yeah.
hunt. When you see it a couple times, but I laughed when Jiro first chops the douchebag's head off in the very beginning, and the cops come up, and they're not really doing anything.
Right.
But when they came up, it reminded me of clowns in a clown car, because they're almost too big for the size of their car, and the car looks
Right.
weird. And I just hate cops anyway.
Right.
So it's like, what a bunch of clowns! Yes.
Useless. Useless.
Exactly. And also, when I'm just going to call them gangs. The gang started going after Jiro to finish him off or kill him.
Right.
I really liked the industrialist guy, the main guy, because he had like a flail, but it was like a wok flail. Just a handle, chain, and a wok at the end.
Yeah, all their weapons are like just like modified kitchen utensils.
It's perfect.
It's amazing. I remember later on, Jiro gets this like giant sword-looking knife, and I remember like those apparently are the giant knives they used to like carve up tuna in Japan, and it usually takes like 2 people to wield one. But he's just like swinging around by himself.
It's like, I have a sword now. It was pretty cool when he went to take down the industrialist. Like, I forget what it was, but like some special bird. They were gonna. He had like the top chefs were around this table,
right?
And they were being served the special bird, and everything about it just seemed torturous towards the animal and super hoity-toity, pretentious stuff. And you had to have. Like a napkin over your head to really absorb everything. Yeah. And I knew going in, it was like, he's just going to chop their heads off. And then he chopped their heads off. It was perfect.
That whatever dish was actually in the Hannibal. They did that in the show, yeah.
Did he chop their head off?
No, I think they actually just ate the bird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do that.
No, it seems really gross.
Yeah. Just eat the whole thing except for the head.
Yeah.
And they specifically said just let the head dangle out of your mouth.
Yeah. That's weird.
I don't think I can do it.
Yeah. Like how do you like chew the bird, have the head like you were it's really awkward. And plus like you gotta drown the bird in whatever cognac or whatever first, and it's like the whole process is just terrible.
I wanted to know more about how the hippie people or the hippie gang like set up their vertical farming, right? They just basically had a big building, and you basically only really see a glimpse with the wheat field at the end and some sheep.
Yeah.
And then like there's a pig pen somewhere. So I'm curious how they handle this.
It's like the hippies are just so fucking weird. 'Cause like they seem to like support veganism as well, right?
Yep.
But then they have pigs that they slaughter, and well, I guess there's one point where it's just revealed that they're just fucking hypocrites.
Right. Yeah.
It's just I don't know. There's a lot of questions about the hippies that I don't know. I don't have answers to.
Right.
But it's kind of neat that they feed like people to their pigs.
Yep. I mean that's a trope that's been in a couple different things. It's like feed them to the pigs.
Yeah.
Because apparently they eat everything. I don't know. Like
another Hannibal link.
You just really love Hannibal. This is
do.
the second episode.
Yeah.
It's good though. Hannibal's good.
Hannibal's
We should
great.
just stop talking about Hannibal. That's a whole.
Unless they come out with a comic book.
Yeah, they probably have. I don't know.
No.
We'll look into it.
Yeah.
It ended. Jiro ended kind of abruptly and weirdly to me because the 2 head chefs of the rival gangs basically ran away and were this weird love tension situation.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were sitting in a sunset, I want to say, or on something like that.
Yeah, it's just like a picturesque setting.
And then Jiro and the sous chef lady from earlier are just back in their shop.
Yeah, back in
stuff.
that
the French
guys,
but they're doing sushi now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, did they just kill everyone?
That's what I assumed.
I did too.
Like the inner ring, like it's gone, and now that it's gone, they could like carry on doing their stuff without like worrying as much about like the supply chain or the supply being had their prices jacked up because of the inner ring.
Right. I'd be curious because they showed like the people in the outer rings were what we would consider just fat Americanized people, right? And I remember seeing a lot of like styrofoam burger things, So I'm curious if that goes away now and all the fancy stuff comes out. Who
I don't
knows? Yeah.
As far as I can tell, there wasn't a sequel, but there is a prequel.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's not going to answer anything.
No, no, it's not going to answer anything. But overall, it's a fun read.
It's a fun read. The art is kind of boring.
Yeah,
But there's lots of blood, so that's
Yeah.
cool. Blood and cool weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
And just a fun little neat story of classism, hoity-toityness,
Mhm.
and murder.
And you can tell like Anthony Bourdain was involved if you're familiar.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So you can, yeah.
Yeah, you could tell he especially the little sushi thing was like, yeah, that's Anthony Bourdain, and his views on like food comes across very well
Yep.
through the comic. So
Oh, I did also like, it was just funny to me I'm going way back now, when Jiro was first brought in with the industrialists and was walking through the kitchen, you could see the stereotypes of the chefs. Like there were cowboy hat wearing people grilling steaks. There were presumably Japanese people with Japanese flag headbands
Right.
cutting up sushi. Like, ah, really? Like, you put the effort in. Okay, cool. I like it.
I think people should go and get this book.
I
think it's worth it.
It is, and like it was really just interesting how closely my thoughts on food were related to this.
Right.
It was weird to me. It's like, oh, shit, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Food isn't really about money or whatever. It's just let's be happy.
Yeah. And make quality shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes. You can still eat some garbage and it's good. But yeah.
And you fuck up once or twice, no big deal.
Nope. Third time you get your head chopped off.
Oh yeah. Exactly. Third time you get
Is Vertigo still around?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure. I hadn't paid much of attention.
Yeah.
So.
No, they're still doing like indie press stuff, and like they started doing like Sandman extended universe stuff.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I haven't checked any of it out though.
Me either. The album this month was Dark Expressionism by the band Worthless out of New Jersey. It was released this year on Under the Moon.
Oh, that Under the Moon is the label.
Yes.
I just thought they had two titles.
Oh. Yeah, no. Again, as with a lot of them, I don't know what the label is.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it before. But Under the Moon fits very well with the feel of this album.
Yeah.
Like, okay, yeah.
It's not Over the Moon.
Nope. That is true. That is a true statement.
So my first impression of this album is Kyle would really like it.
Kyle, Tomer,
Yep.
Tomato Gotchi Boys.
Yep.
He would.
Yeah.
He probably already knows it. Like
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very atmospheric. Bunch of tremolo chords. Neat bass line underneath the chord
Oh yeah,
progressions.
absolutely. Well, that is what I guess you could say is a trademark of the depressive, suicidal black metal
Yeah.
sub genre.
Right.
Is that guitar style and the bass, the bloom 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 bloom.
Yeah. It's well, I guess, would it be insulting to call it fun?
The music or the bass?
The music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see how
I know,
it's
like-
fun at all.
I don't know. It's just like, because for me, it's like, did I enjoy it? Oh yeah, then it's fun.
Okay.
But
That's a
for this particular, it feels a little weird to say it's fun.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
Yes. Well, and what I especially like is the shrieking vocals.
Yeah.
It just sounds like someone, I don't know how to describe it, dying over and over in agony.
It's the person is not enjoying themselves.
Right.
They're
not
or
having
at least
fun.
No, they're not. They're not over the moon. They are under the moon, far below the moon.
Yes.
It just like things aren't okay.
Right. Well, it's just agony.
Yeah,
It's shrieking agony vocals.
exactly. But it fits the music very well. One thing I noticed is they have some pretty interesting transitions that like I don't quite I'm not quite able to wrap my head around, but it sounds fucking cool.
Yeah.
Especially in the third song. I don't know the name, but I know there's this one transition in the third song. It's just like, what? That's neat. I don't know what happened, but that's really cool.
Well, I felt that way. There's like right smack dab in the middle of track 5.
Mm-hmm.
It's because you get this ambient kind of, I don't know what to say, ethereal feel, right?
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the track 5, there's a change, and it feels like there's actual riffing. Like, it's constant riffing. The whole album's constant riffing.
Right.
But this one, it's like, I don't know if it's timing change or they just change scales a bunch. I don't know. But I was like, oh, that stood out. That's cool.
Yeah.
And I like it all. I like the whole album. I could understand why people would get bored with it.
Yeah, it's an hour and 30 minutes,
Yes.
basically.
And a lot of the songs are pushing 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Not quite 10 minutes on a lot of them. And it truly is an atmospheric experience.
Yeah.
So.
And I appreciate it for not having, like, overbearing keyboards.
Right. Yeah.
That's, I think, definitely one thing that's, like, just overdone. Like, no. Unless you're a Hail Spirit Noir.
Well, that's a little different, though.
Yeah, it's different. But, like, atmospheric black metal, you don't need all that keyboard.
Nope.
Nah. You could do just as well with, guitar, bass, and drums.
I did think it was a little predictable, I don't know, that the numbered tracks,
Yeah.
like literally title 1, 2, and 3
Right.
in Roman numerals, were short acoustic segments.
Yeah.
And I guess they put it there to break up so it's not an entirely monotonous experience.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
They didn't need to be there.
No.
I don't know why they were there.
One of them would have been cool, but
Yeah.
3 of them is just, I didn't need those.
Filler, I guess?
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know.
Okay, so here was a thought that I had listening to one of the tracks. I don't know which one it was. It was later on the album, but it sounds like it was done. And then after a minute of it, quote-unquote, finishing, they go back to another riff with vocals again. And a thought occurred to me is like, is this just a vehicle for poetry?
I could see it being the case.
Yeah. It's like, I have these words that I want to communicate, so I need this amount of music to fit the words.
Well, isn't a lot of music that anyway? Not all, obviously,
Yeah.
but like a lot of music just is a vessel for poetry.
I don't know. I guess I always think of it as like music first, and then like, how do I put words in within this?
Well, I suppose that's why it's an art form.
Yeah.
And people have different
People
views
have
and
ways
methods,
of,
you know?
Yeah. But it's just like, it just made me think, did this guy come up with lyrics first and then compose the song around like these words?
Well, I'm convinced this guy's had these types of lyrics. I admittedly didn't read any of the lyrics at all. But I have an assumption on the vast majority of what they are, and it's all sad stuff.
Yeah.
So this person has been making these lyrics for their whole life.
Yeah.
They're just living
their
it
head.
in their head.
Yeah.
And then this is how you get really sad, suicidal, depressive black metal instead of actually killing yourself. That's a release.
Yeah.
They were fucking phenomenal when I saw them at Shadowwoods
Yeah.
It was 2017, and it was the same day. So it was towards the end of the day, and I saw Panopticon in the woods, which was amazing, and then Vastum in the middle of a field, which was amazing, and then these folks and another band, Zud, like in a little like camping hall room.
Okay, yeah.
And it was just a nice culmination of band after band after band.
Yeah.
And I immediately bought their album after. It was like A Portrait of Mankind.
Oh, yeah.
The album.
Okay. So is this their second album?
This is their second album, yeah. And it's pretty much a continuation of the first, but better production.
Oh, cool.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
So.
Is it a 4-piece or?
Oh shit! I can't remember now.
3-piece?
I don't remember.
Oh, wow.
But
Cool.
they were really good, and I just, after hearing crunching, giant stomping death metal, and having lots of Yinglings, and then going and seeing this band, it was just phenomenal experience. Those last couple bands.
Hell yeah! Which night was this on?
Like the last night.
Okay.
So it was
So
the end.
A
and
good
it's
way
like,
to close out a fest.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
And then oh, they were set to be support on a tour coming through town.
Yeah.
But then obviously COVID fucked everything up.
Right.
So I was like, hell yeah. And I went and looked to see what they're doing because they had a new logo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like a chaos, weird, jaggy stuff instead of their previous logo, which was essentially the Bathory font.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Right.
So I just like, what are they up to? And then they had a new album. I was like, oh, fuck it. Let's do it. And I listened to it, and then we discussed what we're going to do. I was like, let's just do this.
Yeah. So what was the tour package?
I'm trying to remember who they were supporting. It wasn't announced.
Okay.
I cannot remember.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's in an email somewhere. But yeah, I mean, if you like, what are those bands called? I had some recommendations, like,
I'm not very familiar with this genre.
There's like
myself.
something Kill Yourself is is a band. Maybe some Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank.
Go listen to Tomato.
Tomato.
Yep.
Tomarum. Tomato Gotchis.
Tomato Gotchis. Yeah, you can go listen to them if you like this stuff because it's kind of the same except the little man's got really fast fingers.
Yep. And it's music made by 12-year-olds.
Yep.
Here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Indeed.
Dingus and Dongus.
Debacle.